As I'm editing this video, we just got the news that Caitlin Clark will be sidelined for at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Now, at this point in time, we don't have too much information on the injury, except that it is a new injury. This is not the injury that she was dealing with during preseason, but I just wanted to give you guys that update because it's obviously one of the biggest news stories of the day, but I don't have too much information on it yet, so I'm going to gather what I can and give you more in tomorrow's video, but I wanted to give you that update before we jump into today's video, which has to do with the WNBA officiating. It's all about the referees. I feel like the two might tie in together. So enjoy this video. There's the update, and I will have more for you guys tomorrow.
The Women's National Basketball Association faces mounting criticism over referee conduct as numerous supporters voice concerns about biased officiating. Officials have consistently overlooked aggressive play directed towards specific players. Caitlin Clark experiences unprecedented physical contact that surpasses treatment received by other league participants. The organization fails to safeguard their primary revenue generator, sole attraction, and singular celebrity talent. The inevitable consequence has materialized. Promises were made about transforming professional women's basketball. Marketing campaigns position her as tomorrow's icon. However, nobody anticipated that the institution itself would become her greatest adversary. They break down essentially why they are making the calls that they make, and they also talk about the influx of new fans flooding to the WNBA. They talk about Caitlin Clark a little bit. This article to me was really telling. It actually came out in January, but it was published by SB Nation, and it's entitled How WNBA Referees Are Scouted, Trained, and Held Accountable, Explained. To summarize for you guys, there are two people that they interview, and they have worked within the NBA and the WNBA referee sphere for the past 20 to 30 years. Now they are kind of at the head of these WNBA referees. So they are giving insights into everything that goes into the job. They start off by sharing that the officiating in the WNBA became as hot button of an issue as any, and heated debates surrounding the league's physicality dominated the headlines. The scenario transcended typical newcomer adjustment difficulties. Events appeared significantly more calculated and hazardous. Following each contest, league participants, spectators, and coaching staff universally criticize officiating personnel. They demonstrate unwillingness to implement modifications because referees maintain substandard performance. Contest after contest, Clark absorbed impacts, experienced forceful contact with playing surfaces, and competed amid numerous uncalled infractions. Individuals responsible for maintaining competitive balance, the officials, observed passively like background performers in poorly executed theater, particularly when Indiana Fever star rookie Caitlin Clark was subject to several intentional fouls. They also brought up Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. We actually made a whole video about that as well, because there were some suspect calls at the end of that game, and a lot of people felt like the WNBA Finals were actually rigged, because Kathy Engelbert was also wearing a dress that had the New York City skyline on it. So there were just a bunch of things that seemed kind of fishy. Now, where the article starts to get interesting is where the initial occasional oversights rapidly escalated into a widespread epidemic of ignored violations, permitting obvious infractions while Clark contacted the floor. Indiana's head coach Stephanie White voiced complaints regarding her squad's lack of whistle protection and insufficient respect. Then arrived the unwanted moment. Clark sidelined with quadriceps injury. Suddenly, supporters began reviewing every overlooked foul, every body contact that went unaddressed, every glance she directed toward officials, pleading for whistles that never materialized. Recovery requires 14 days minimum following quadriceps muscle strain. Clark and Sophie Cunningham approached officials seeking explanations for recent occurrences, yet that official completely ignored their inquiries. The situation ceased resembling unfortunate circumstances. Patterns suggested intentional conduct. Precisely when discussions reached peak intensity, emerging reports started revealing the extent of officiating system dysfunction. They talk about how one becomes a WNBA referee. It says every WNBA and NBA referee's journey is different, but they all share the same foundation, a stint in the G League. In order to even get to the G League, there are scouts that go out and scout referees, but the scouts are in high school gyms, college gyms, and at National Intramural Recreational Sports Association clinics. They're out there looking at a lot of women's basketball. The sport faces institutional problems. As increasing audiences monitor this organization, issues become progressively significant. Officiating consistency remains questionable. Officials never provide a clear understanding of expectations. Investigation reveals significant portions of league referees originated from high school competitions. They avoid making decisions based on personal assessment. Instead, the organization depends on concealed advisory groups consisting of general managers, coaches, and investors instructing officials regarding desired game physicality. Referees ignore player concerns. They disregard coaching input. They dismiss supporter feedback. Their attention focuses on investor interests. This explains why modifications remain unlikely until leadership mindset changes among governing stakeholders. Clark finds herself positioned directly within this turmoil where influence, pride, and financial considerations intersect. Referees who are just getting into it and just getting started, there could be an NBA referee scout at any high school game. And I know that was something going viral on Twitter when we were talking about the referees who were refereeing the Fever and Liberty game. One of the referees seemed like his only experience was actually refereeing high school games. I will put this out there, you guys. I don't want any of you hunting down the referees and making threats. Clark never retreated from challenges. During her Iowa tenure, she rewrote statistical records, attracted millions of supporters, and elevated women's basketball to primetime television status. Upon entering the professional ranks, everyone anticipated excitement, not merely from her athletic ability, but from the enthusiasm she would create for an organization requiring miraculous intervention. The year 2024 marked unprecedented viewership expansion throughout the WNBA, substantial portions directly attributed to Clark, who captivated basketball communities following an exceptional collegiate performance. She participated in 185 straight games spanning her Iowa career and Indiana professional tenure. Perfect attendance was maintained. Also, what you'll see in this article is that it seems like a lot of them are kind of being told what to do. There are other people pulling the strings above them. So by no means do I want you to take this video and use it to attack referees, which is kind of the fact with all of my videos. I don't want you guys to ever use my videos to go and attack other human beings, whether it's players, coaches, referees.